This week's episode is brought to you by being too lazy to get off the fucking couch and come record the goddamn ad.
I will never get off this couch for as long as I live. What am I called, dead hands?
On with the show. Right, I think 22 Jump Street might be the only.
I mean,
I can't think
off the top
any.
of my head, I can't think of any. I can think of, like the ones we just said. The
Anchorman and Zoolander.
Yeah, like those are all shitty. Neighbors 2 sucked.
Oh my god, yeah, I hated that one because it was every problem was just like just call the cops.
Well, yeah, you can't like, and like the whole plot element of it, were just like, we're gonna get the monopoly on selling weed to the campus. Like, okay, call the cops on the people that are the only people selling weed on campus now.
Literally selling ounces and like pounds of weed at the fucking tailgate. Yeah,
like the first movie, they had the party where they throw an unbelievable amount dollar-wise of weed into trash cans, and that's kind of ridiculous, and it's way over the top. But then when in the second one, they're just like, look at these fucking kilos of pot that we have in garbage bags, like on this college campus, and no one seems to notice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that movie's bad.
Yeah, that movie sucked.
There's never any good sequels,
yeah,
except for sequels to this podcast, the Hodge Podcast. Welcome to the Hodge Podcast.
Nope, every single one gets worse.
That is true. I mean,
progressively worse.
That is. It's probably accurate. But anyway, welcome to the Hodge Podcast, the official podcast of CountryHodgepodge.com. I'm your host, Steve Hodge, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, cousin and lover, Kevin Hodge.
Hello.
Today we are going to be talking about how Gooch managed to release more country songs than Luke Combs last week, and Backstreet Boys goes country, and we'll have to do a dramatic reading of said song.
Well, technically it's not Backstreet Boys. It's just a side street juvenile man.
Exactly. And then we're obviously going to talk, as you can see in the title description, we're going to talk about Tyler Childers and his best music, and why Kevin says Purgatory is one of the worst albums ever released.
AKA just my unabashed love for that album and everything he's ever made, and I am a super homer, but I think he's amazing.
Yeah. It's because, you're a homer for gingers. You just got a thing for him, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, what's up, man?
What's up?
Harassment. Suing you.
Harassment.
Anyway, first we could get off with... So if you guys...
Gonna get off? Yeah.
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 Use our voices to get off. Impossible. Anyway, last week, Gooch released 2 new songs, both of which I was surprised when turning them on. They are country songs.
Yeah, the first one...
country songs.
Yeah, the first one...
Simple.
Had a very, like, Lumineers... hey-ho vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I did not...
And they taught you how to spell simple.
Well, exactly. And so, like, as a song, I did not care for it at all. However, as a, like, just sonically, it is a country song.
Yeah.
They did it.
Colorado's even further country. Still terrible fucking lyrics, and I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I didn't think it was... I thought it was definitely better than Simple. And I definitely don't really like it. But I feel like that's also one that, like, over time, if I can separate myself from the instant hating of them beyond words, that might be one that becomes, like, a guilty pleasure song. Because I didn't think it was, like, I thought it was really dumb, but sonically it sounded good. So I was like, I could see myself having this come on a guilty pleasure type playlist. But it's still like, if their ceiling right now is maybe in a year I'll have it on a guilty pleasure playlist when I'm drunk, that's just, you know.
Like, they're not going to be songs I'm angry when people turn on, because they are country songs.
Yes.
Like, I will never go out of my way to ever listen to these songs. But if I hear them, I'm not going to be like... I'll be like, but I'm not going to be, like, severely disgusted because it's not fucking Bebe Rexha.
Yes.
Like, but the question is, what are they doing this for? Are they trying to start leading the tidal wave back to country, or is this just they're releasing 2 country songs before releasing more Bebe Rexha shit?
I think they will still have shit that's the Bebe Rexha absolute nonsense, but I think there's kind of this movement within the mainstream.
A slight revival.
A slight revival, okay? Because you've got certain people like John Party, who, I mean, there's some John Party songs that really piss me off. Yeah. But he's also got some really good songs. And so there's people like that are getting a lot more mainstream appeal.
William Michael
Morgan, obviously Stapleton.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there might be this kind of movement, and I feel like they might be, since now they're like, you know, have kids and are 30, whatever, maybe they're like trying to think that if they make this pivot in, you know, 10 years, they won't be completely forgotten and thought of as the worst thing that's ever happened to
they
music.
They won't be the dark past of country that people want to forget.
However, they're wrong, because no matter what they do, they will be the thing that I wish I could forget about.
Yeah, but I think it's actually just forking even harder. Like, the road is just severely, because there are still people who are doing
fork that road.
Fork it. Because what was it? Brett Eldridge is having like Meghan Trainor on a song now or something like that.
There's something.
It was something along those lines.
Something like that.
Like, so there are still those people who are like, no, we gotta get these pop artists in on our songs. So it's getting worse in that region. But then you have people like Dierks, who's now releasing The Mountain, which just sounds so far like a pretty good country album. You have Gooch releasing 2 country songs. You have even Luke Bryan, even though I don't like the song that most people are good song, it's a country song.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And he had a article where he was talking about how...
Oh, the Billboard one?
Yeah, where he's just like, he got quoted saying like, you know, asking like, can I really ever make another, you know, hunting, fishing, you know, dumb country song at this point? Kind of realizing that that whole deal has run its course.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah. So it does feel like that some of these artists are just like, they're kind of stripping it back and like, wait, we got to kind of go back. It's like, we got lost in this. Like,
well, I think it's like the political landscape. I feel like country music used to be very moderate. There was a lot of people just kind of near the center. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Bernie Sanders happened. And he's just like, for the love of God, take everyone's shit. Let's go. And they're just like, you know what? You're right. We can take everyone's shit.
And then, well, I mean, in a way, it did become, even politically, country became so bipolar because it's like either super liberal or super conservative in this field. And it just, and that's what sucks is that the music has done the same, where it's either super country or just pop. Yeah. And it sucks. And I feel like it's got to just wave back into just moderate across the board.
Exactly. I think it's, you know, cycles, ups and downs. And I think that bro country was this really high wave up into the bullshit stratosphere. And now we're coming back down. Yeah. And one of these days we're going to get back towards mostly good music. Yeah. Because even like in the 2000s, you know, early 2000s, there was plenty of shitty songs that would get played. It was just not only shitty songs. Yeah, and that's all I'm really asking for.
And it's like, because, what was it? Luke Bryan followed Do I, which is a fantastic fucking song. He followed with Rain Is a Good Thing, which is a terrible song, but it's a country song.
But it makes corn.
And whiskey makes the rain and whatever.
And whiskey makes him a little rapey.
What the fuck?
Yep.
But yeah.
So
it's like, but that was still at least country at the point, but that was obviously the start of the bro trend. And it's like how people always give the bullshit excuse of, well, outlaw country, change country. I'm like, yeah, but it brought it down from the rhinestones and bullshit that country was. That's what Waylon was. That's what Waylon and them were fighting. Merle. Yes. They were fighting against the trend of everything has to be so pretty and poppy and rhinestone-y.
It was like your super conservative grandparents, you know, this is the devil's music. Like, they were rebelling against those type of people. Yeah. It wasn't rebelling against, oh, look at you people with talent. Look what I can do with no talent.
Yeah, exactly. It was a completely different rebellion. But, so yeah, hopefully, I don't know, or otherwise we'll just have more shitty songs that we're going to complain about all the time. Like the one we're going to get to in a little bit. Yeah. But one thing that does suck is that Luke Combs released his... was it This One's For You Too, I think is what it's called. And
Choked.
It's... Can't tell that story on here. But anyway, so he released it. It's just his album that he released last year, but with 5 or 6 extra tracks or something like that on there. And every song on that wasn't good. There was one that I didn't mind. I can't remember which one it was. I can't remember. Oh, Beautiful Crazy. That one's not...
Nope.
I thought it was fine.
Nope.
But what sucks is that he re-released his best, hands-down song, even better than Hurricane. He re-released She Got the Best of Me, but he fucking ruined it.
Yep.
it's just overproduced. It's got all this computerized shit in it. The instruments have gone from actual instruments to like robots.
Yeah, the worst thing about it is the fact that I really love She Got the Best of Me because vocally it's got like this grittiness to it. And when you hear him sing stripped down with no fucking production, he's got this ridiculous voice that has tremendous range, but it also has this like grittiness to it.
Yeah.
That really is awesome. And you can hear that on the original version of She Got the Best of Me. And then this one, they fucking prettied it up.
Yeah, they polished
produced it all over the place, and it's terrible. And I thought all of the songs that he added were terrible, and I'm canceling Luke Combs. He's done.
Yeah, which sucks because if you have been listening to our podcast since
Go
the
back
beginning,
and listen to the Luke Combs episode.
We talked about how much we love Luke Combs. Well, even though in the Luke Combs episode, which is still our most played episode, we even talk about how we were scared he was going to sell out because we did the episode right after the album came out.
I had a really good feeling that this is exactly what was going to happen, and I am sad that I'm right.
Technically, it's a bad feeling that you had it. You just had a correct feeling.
I had a correct feeling, and it was, and I'm sad that I was correct.
Yeah,
because god damn it.
Because if you listen, we've been listening to him since 2015. I think even before Hurricane came out. Because
when I first listened to him, well, the first time I listened to him was just that fucking Dip Tin EP, and then
Can I Get an Outlaw EP? I think it's what it's called.
That one, and then the
one with him as a kid.
Yes.
The She Ain't Ready, or I Know She Ain't Ready. Is that one of those?
Those were the two things that he had out, and then Hurricane came out.
Yeah.
Sometime after that.
And like we've talked about, Luke Combs has always had bad songs. Like he had Can I Get an Outlaw is not a good song. I'm sorry, it's not a good song. He had
but he sings really well, and it's a country song.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And like Beer Can, it's a terrible song, but it's
a country song.
Yeah, it's a fun song. And then he released this album where it was 5 from the EP that he released, which were all good, except for Used To, which is his best one from that EP.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And then he released just the other half was just crap, except I still stand that I like Lonely One. I like that one.
One of these days you're going to come around and be like, you know what? You're right. This nonsense is a fucking bad noise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a terrible noise. Why would you put it in there?
But yeah, so it's
I'm so good at singing, let's supplement it with nonsense.
Yeah, but so pretty much we are getting to that point where we're completely writing him off. His next album, I will give it a listen because I usually give artists I used to like a listen just to see if they have any redeeming songs. But as of right now, it does not feel like he's going to redeem himself. He's gone too far down that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad he's found success. He's a talented fucking writer, and he wrote the songs.
Yeah,
nice.
he wrote the songs, and didn't he say that he didn't start playing guitar until he was like 20?
He was 21.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like he's supremely talented, and that's why it makes me so angry.
Yeah,
it's because he's a dude that is so damn talented, both lyrically on so many songs, and then just vocally. He's got so much power in his voice. Like he could be so great.
Yeah. And I mean, you can. It's also it's not that surprising because like his song "Honky Tonk Highway," which I do like because it is a country song. I don't know why you don't like that song. It sounds very Brooks and Dunny, which is they used to be pop back in the day. People didn't like it. Now they're considered like classic country, but they were people that people didn't like because they came in that they were kind of a pop duo to people. Even though, they do have a lot of shit.
Yeah, songs, but the idea of pop duo. And Brooks and Dunn compared to the modern pop duos, wow!
Like Gooch,
Gooch, and the fucking Dan and Shay. I hate them.
God,
we don't talk about them that often because I also do forget that they exist. They might piss me off more than everyone that isn't like a select 3.
It's
maybe.
Dan plus Shay.
Yeah, Dan plus fuck right off out of my ears, you cunts.
Yeah, but anyway. Going back to what we were saying of maybe country's getting better, it's not with this next song because Backstreet Boys' own AJ McLean decided to release a song who wants to urbanize country, as he says. He released a song called Baby Suck My Balls. No, Back Porch Bottle Service.
Yep.
And it is
Backdoor Sluts 9.
I hate a porno with a plot.
Well, that's a lot of production value.
But if you haven't heard it, just don't. Well, you're
about
to hear some of it.
Step on into the CHP Coffee House
and prepare for another dramatic reading. And this week is AJ McLean's Back Porch Bottle Service. Tonight, we're rolling out the red carpet. Got somewhere special in mind. You're my +1 to the party, and we ain't gotta wait in no line. And I know the DJ, and I bet ya he'll play anything you want, Diddy to McGraw. Got a table for two with a wraparound view. Just slide the door, baby, step into. A little back porch bottle service. Long necks chillin' in an icebox. Got you looking so hot, baby, that you got me burning. Chlamydia. Don't stop working that firefly flirtin'. Girl, you know it's been a little while. Tonight we gonna do it our style. So keep the rollin' rocks rollin', rockin' chairs rockin'. If the neighbors get to knockin', we be poppin' that back porch bottle service. A little VIP for you and me, 'cause girl, you worth it, yeah. A little back porch bottle service.
Yes!
So yeah, that song is fucking terrible.
And not only is it, as you can tell, lyrically terrible, it's just like they're trying to make a pop song, but it sounds like they tried to make a pop song on GarageBand. Like, it doesn't even sound well done. Like, the one thing you can hand to fucking Sam Hunt is that when they go way over the top with the production of the pop nonsense, it doesn't sound like a 12-year-old made that beat in his basement. This one sounds terrible and is terrible, and everything about it makes me want to jump off of a building.
I'm just kind of looking down the fucking lyrics a little more, and there's dancing in a smoke out of citronella. What's citronella? Is that
Candles.
A drink? Candle? Okay.
Citronella candles. Come on now.
Damn girl, you looking gorgeous. Just lighten me up them tiki torches. I don't know if
Oh, he's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, he's a neo-Nazi.
Son of a bitch!
From Charleston. God damn it.
Didn't know.
God.
Big fan of the Charlottesville.
Anyway, well, it's just funny because, like, looking at these lyrics, it's like, oh, this is perfect for dramatic porch reading.
Dramatic porch reading.
God damn it. Yep, we're doing this on the porch now.
Yep.
Dramatic reading, but I was like, but these lyrics still aren't as bad as Hot Dom Llama. But we peaked.
Nothing will ever be as bad as that because he literally added nonsense words. Like, usually it's just a badly written song. He took a badly written song and just like, but what if we just also removed the English part of it? Like, we could just do half nonsense and then a little bit of English, and we'll see what happens.
So fucking bad. Anyway, let's
one
get
of these
into...
one of these days there's going to be another one that's
100%.
somewhere close to that, but I really do think we might have hit the grand slam out of the park on the first one.
Yeah,
because that song is just so atrociously bad. It's a work of art.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into some good fucking music.
Yes.
All right, so this week we wanted to talk about Tyler Childers. He is one of Kevin's fucking favorite. I know this because of
He
how
just
many
got followed
times...
by Shark Gang USA. What does that mean?
But so if you don't know, Tyler Childers had an album come out last year, which was produced by Sturgill Simpson, called Purgatory. Which, Kevin, I believe you called it your #1 album of last year. I'm pretty sure.
I also thought about giving it 1 through 5.
Yeah, yeah. Because
no, I legitimately, Purgatory was my favorite album of last year. It's my favorite album. Like, not to crap on any other albums, because like I said a bunch of times already, 2017 had so much good music. I loved so many albums. There's so much great music, and there's so much that's come out this year. But having said that, I still feel like Purgatory is one of these albums that, to me, I'm going to be still thinking about for years.
Yeah.
Like, that album came out, fucking amazing. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Still am obsessed with it. Like, it's one of those albums that I'm just like, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I am with Front Row Seat by Josh Abbott. Like, that CD came out 2015, and I still talk about how much I love that album.
Exactly.
It's fucking
phenomenal. That's exactly how I feel about it. That I really think it's that good. I love the production on it. So many of the songs, like, so when you listen to Tyler Childers, if you don't listen to Purgatory and you listen to the other stuff that's either on Spotify or whatever, like 90% of it is just him and a guitar.
Yeah.
So I really love the sound with the production.
And I love people
Purgatory.
who can work their way around chords. Like,
Yes.
he just makes it sound like it's
Yes.
two guitars playing, even though it is just
Yes.
him picking around chords.
Yeah,
and
it's just a
phenomenal.
beautiful record. I love it.
I was obviously listening to him a bunch before this episode because I like knowing what I'm listening to before going into
How
it. I don't
dare
listen to
you.
Tyler Childers as much as you, well, because it's impossible.
It is impossible.
But I was noticing, like, his voice is very unique. It's
Yes.
not like I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not like a good voice where it's like he would win American Idol, but it's so unique that it just fits in his sound. It
sounds perfect. It's his voice sounds Appalachian.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, except for when you listen to him, it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like a guy singing, songs about coal mining and being poor, like that sounds perfect because it's got this like pain behind it. You know, like you can hear like this struggle, and it's amazing. I think he's tremendous.
Yeah, he's great. So let's. This week we decided we're going to do top 7 because he doesn't have that much music out, and so we wanted to kind of keep it shorter with it because obviously, obviously Kevin could make a top 30 of just all of his songs.
Yeah, I could just do all of them and rank them, but who wants that? And I figured, I was thinking about doing a top 5, but then I was like, I kind of want to hit some of the different albums, I guess, quote albums, because he doesn't really have albums as much as he's got the one album, and then he's got the second one, or his quote first album, The Bottles and Bibles, which isn't really an album because apparently I don't understand when people do this. That happens all the time, where a person will have music in an album format, and then later will be like, here's the debut album by whatever. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Because it's the same thing with Coulter Wall. He had Imaginary Appalachia, and then his self-titled was the, quote, debut. And I'm like, but
is it with
like
a label that
I think it's got to be either with a label or like a, quote, major release.
Because technically the Foundation by Zac Brown is their debut album, but they do have, I think, 2 albums.
Exactly. And so I think
which you can't really find.
Yeah, it's probably just like however they define like major release or whatever thing like that. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to incorporate some other things. Yeah. But without further ado,
top 7. And Kevin did it because he's the one who's obsessed with Tyler. Like, I do love Tyler Childers' music. I just don't listen to it nearly as much as Kevin.
You don't understand.
So I just was like, Kevin, this one is your top.
Okay, number 7, The Harvest.
And I'll be meeting with my Savior to go over my foolish deeds. When he asks me why I did it, Lord, I'll blame it on the seed. 'Cause it didn't grow in like I planned, and when it did, it all went dry. And I couldn't stand to hear the pain of a small baby crying.
As we all know, I love me a good old-fashioned murder ballad. And so this is another one of those songs where it doesn't talk about the murdery as much, but he's reflecting after having done said murder because he had a starving child at home. And so as the song's called The Harvest, it's about how he was trying to farm his land, shit wouldn't grow, things were bad, so he had to turn to a life to provide for his kid. And so then I really like the way he does it, because it's not just like, well, I had a starving kid, so I just, had to do the murdering. He talks about just the judgment that they're placing on him without knowing the full story of what's going on. And I just think it's kind of a unique take on it. And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Number 6, Banded Clovis.
We trudged through the snow, straight up the hillside, took a ridge for a while, then we slowly went down to an overhang, hit from the ridge line, bent over our handles, and we bit in the ground, dark and bloody ground.
Which is super confusing to people like me who don't have Clovis in our backyard.
Yeah, I did not know what the fuck Banded Clovis meant.
I understood from context throughout the song that they were panning or prospecting or whatever the fuck for this thing, but I had to look up what a Clovis was, and they're like little Indian arrowhead looking bastards.
Yeah.
So I had to look that up because I was just like, I don't know what the hell a Clovis is, but I digress. Again, another murder ballad, because we all know how much I love murder ballads. And so it's basically he goes out west prospecting. It's taking way too long to strike it rich, and they're he says he's broke ass and busted, and having a real rough time. But then his friend finds something great, and so the narrator sees it, realizes how much money it would be worth, and in the song it's interesting because he talks about how much whiskey and women and shit he could get for it, and so he's just taken over by greed and kills his friend, takes it, then he gets caught later on down the road.
So he's Smeagol?
Exactly. But so it's interesting compared to the first one where it's like kill for your dying, your family and your starving child. And the other one's like, I killed a guy who had a wife and a family who was going to take this and go back to them, and I murdered him so that I could have booze and women and shit. And then he's just like, well, fuck.
Good job, Tyler.
Yeah, and I love the
Taylor Children's.
I love it's kind of like bluegrassy kind of sound. He has a lot of sounds. He has a lot of songs that have a bluegrass feel to him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good old banjo in his songs, and I love it.
Yeah. Number 5, White House Road.
I got women up and down this creek, and keep me going and my engine clean. Run me ragged, but I don't fret, 'cause there ain't been one slow me down, none yet. Get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery bill. Take my troubles to the high wall, throw them in the river and get your fill. We've been sniffing that cocaine, ain't nothing better when the wind cuts cold. Oh, it's a mighty hard living, but a damn good feeling to run these roads.
This one, in terms of sound, might be my favorite
I was
of
thinking
his.
that too, yeah.
Because this one's a jam. I probably have listened to this. I haven't listened to this more than my top 2 because when I first listened to this album, I listened to it all the way through probably 3 times, and then I just went through my top 2 like 8 more times because I was obsessed. But White House Road's great. It sounds great, and it's kind of simplistic in the that it's kind of just about like working hard and then playing hard, and then he's just kind of, people are warning him to like slow down and this shit'll kill you, and then he talks about how like, he's working hard all day, presumably in a mine because a lot of his songs are in that setting, and then he's just basically saying that his friends and going crazy at night is the only thing keeping him sane, and so he just kind of like needs that extreme balance between work hard and then go apeshit and do that, sniffing that cocaine. But it's a great song. I love it.
I know stuff for breakfast. Cocaine.
Cocaine. Cocaine. All right, number 3. No, 4. 11. 9? 9. All right, number 4, Shake the Frost.
So if it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones?
I really like this one. It was on the Live on Red Barn Radio that was on Spotify and then got taken off, and I got sad about it. It got taken off Spotify like right when I was putting this list together.
Is that the one that they're re-releasing by him?
Are they re-releasing
something? They were releasing some live album by Tyler
That
Childers.
could be it.
And
It had just when it was on Spotify, it just had like this red album cover looking bastard. But it got taken off, and I was sad about it. But I love this song because it's him talking to his lady, and the imagery he uses when he references her, he calls her like reminds him of like a warm Sunday back in Kentucky, and then the saying that come here and like shake the frost from my bones, like just kind of like warm him up, as emotionally, and then with love and all that good stuff. And it's kind of interesting though because he talks about like, if you don't leave, I'll tell you how much I love you, and I won't be angry all the time. And it's kind of like, that's a weird kind of thing. So it's like a love song, but it's kind of got this weird downer
this
vibe
one wasn't
to it.
one like I said, I didn't know this one because I hadn't heard that album because it must have gotten taken off before
Yeah.
I was listening
exactly.
to it.
But I just really like the lines about shake the frost from my bones, and talking about her like warming him up, and just all the imagery around that I think is pretty neat. I like it.
Yeah, Tyler Childers to re-release Landmark Red Barn Radio Sessions.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
They're coming back? Please?
I guess so.
All right, top 3 time. Number 3 is Nose on the Grindstone.
See, the ways of this world just bring you to tears. Keep the Lord in your heart and you'll have nothing to fear. Live the best that you can and don't lie and don't steal. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Well, Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world that I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, they bring me to chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills.
This is one of those great, learned life lessons from your dad kind of thing, and then taking those and trying to apply them to your life. And so his dad says, like, keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. So obviously work really hard and don't get fucked up too much.
Little like Pollywog by Sturgill Simpson.
Exactly. But he's got, he adds some depth to it where he talks about, like, his dad got hurt and wasn't able to work and was still, like, just instilling in him, like, you got to work hard. And then in the song, he's talking about, like, he can't catch a break and shit's hard, but he just remembers the words that his dad says, and it keeps him trucking on. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Number 2, Feathered Indians.
Hold me close, my dear. Sing your whispering song softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Honey, tell me how your love runs true, and how I can always count on you. Be there when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river just to hold you tonight.
If nothing else, this song is great because of the line where it's like a love song about this girl, and he talks about, like, if I had known she was an angel, I wouldn't have came stoned.
Yeah.
Or something.
If I
to a
knew
house
she
of
was
an
religious.
If I knew she was religious, I wouldn't have came stoned to a house of such an angel, too fucked up to get back home.
Yeah.
I just think it's great. And then the Feathered Indians line is about they're going to Pound Town, and his belt buckle is just pressing up against her thigh, leaving the indention of his belt buckle on her as they're plowing away. And it starts out really funny like that, but then it goes on further to talk about, like, this is the first time he's had someone that, like, people have told him to stop smoking cigarettes. Stop quitting smoking cigarettes. Keep doing it. But he's like, people tell him to stop smoking cigarettes, and he's just like, up until now, I haven't had anything I'd be afraid to, like, leave if I died. And now he's got this person that he cares about. And so it's a nice love song that's got a self-deprecating nature to it, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I love the lyrics in this because it's like, it's kind of self-deprecating, but it is an upbeat love song. And
Exactly.
I do love that
and the production on it and the players and the sound of it's great. I fucking love it. But my number 1 is Tattoos.
I'm now her used to be. He is now the one she needs. He is now the one she leans on. She looks out at the sunset. On a quilt her rags, he holds her tight. And they raise a toast to pull it right. Whiskey kills all things in time, like things she don't remember. Past is fading over time, but it's still hanging on for life.
And it might just be because I watched one of the videos when he was playing it live, and he described why it's called Tattoos and some of the... Because this one's kind of cryptic when he sings it, because he uses a lot of imagery that I like. He talks about, his ex-lover, and when he refers to her, he talks about, like, flint striking and causing a burning fire with just one spark. So like when they met and became lovers, and then transitions that into a cigarette. She breathes in the relationship, then exhales a memory, and I think that's just a fucking badass line about using it up and breathing it out. And then he talks about the reason it's called tattoos, and he refers to himself as like, I'm just an old headstone, as he talked about how I think it was his mom or his parents or someone said, if you ever got like a tattoo of a lover who became an ex, the only thing you could really do about it is just tattoo a fucking headstone around it. And so when he's talking about how his love has moved on, and he is now her everything, and I'm just whatever the fuck, she doesn't care about me anymore, so he refers to himself as, I'm just an old headstone. So like if she had a tattoo with his name on it, just tattooed a gravestone around it, and relationship's dead. I think that's really awesome.
Very nice. Yeah, Tyler Childers is a fantastical man. The one honorable mention I would have, even though it's not him, he's just featured on his Froline, because that song is
I thought about it, but I was like, nah.
Yeah. So it's definitely more of an honorable mention, because that song is
That song is amazing.
Which we'll do a Coulter Wall episode down the
Oh,
road.
100%.
Yeah. So, anything else to say about Tyler Childers? He's coming to Iowa soon, and
I want to go.
definitely want to go to that. But yeah.
I want to go.
So I guess we can move on to the albums last week, because there were a lot. Again.
Were there?
We've gotten this is like however many weeks in a row we've had a lot of things to release.
I think a lot of people wait to release things during the summer months or something. Yeah, it's weird.
It's crazy.
How dare they?
But first is Tammy Nielsen's Sassafras. It's a very hornsy kind of...
Horny?
It's very horny.
Yo.
It's a very horny album.
Let's go.
It's kind of like I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just a lot of horn. It's not like super country. It's a little more like... I don't want to say it's... I guess Americana would be the best way to describe it, but I don't know. It's good. Let's do it. Karen Jonas, Butter. She is phenomenal.
Butter.
I still love her song, Country Song. It is...
Is it a country song?
Yeah. You've heard that song, right? Country song, where she says, I have to thank you for teaching me to love country songs, because she talks about how she didn't like it until she felt the heartbreak and that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she's really phenomenal, but her album Butter came out, and it's just as good as other ones. Then Kyle Park, Don't Forget Where You Come From. I was surprised how kind of drinky this, like, he has a lot of kind of bro-ish type drinking. I mean, they're still country, but I was surprised he had that kind of feeling with his album, because I've never really gotten that vibe from him.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this one as much as I thought.
There are still some really good songs on it, but there are some that's just like, why did you record this?
Exactly.
But yeah, it was overall, it's definitely better than a lot of shit that comes out. But
true story.
Then Raquel, I'm guessing is how you say her name. Raquel Cole, Personal Truth. It's very kind of contemporary. Like, at first I thought it was going to be kind of poppy the way she sings, but it has steel guitars and band. Like, it's not one of those where it's like a pop song with just a little steel. Like, it's very country instrumental, but it's just like the way they come across, it sounds poppy, so it's kind of more contemporary than pop. But I did enjoy it. But then you got Dave Alvin and Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Downey to Lubbock. They're just two old dudes who put out a good country album, so it sounds like good old classic country.
Yeah, buddy.
The Mulligan Brothers, Songs for the Living and Otherwise, just another phenomenal album. Corduroy and the Cottonwoods, self-titled album, another good one. And John Scott Sherrill, Mr. Honky Tonk, another great one. And then finally, fucking amazing album, American Aquarium's Things Change.
Yes.
So fucking good.
I really liked it.
So fucking good. Yeah,
I was a fan.
If you like American Aquarium, just fucking listen to it. It's real good. That's it for this last week. There's more shit coming out this week,
as always.
We will be listening to. So what else have you been listening to? Come on.
I made a playlist that's literally just Jason Boland and Turnpike.
Medicine Stone.
And I'm not upset about it.
Can't complain about that. I've been listening to just random shit again. I listened to Maggie Rose's songs that she's put out. She's kind of like 3 times over the last year she's put out just 2 little songs at a time, and they're not super country, but it's not like pop. They're very kind of like Americana-ish, little horns in there and stuff. They're good. It's kind of like 80s dance kind of sounding with a little country. I don't know. It's weird, but they're pretty good. Yeah, you can find us at countryhodgepodge.com on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Country Hodgepodge. Spotify, you can find the Hodgepodgecast picks, where every week I upload the songs we talk about on the podcast, and I upload a song from each album that I mentioned you should listen to, so you can listen to that shit and check them out. Kevin's picks of the week. Every Monday, Kevin uploads 10 songs he thinks you should be listening to. You can find it on a link through the website, or if you search The Donkey Factory, one word.
Great name.
Yeah. And then every Friday we tweet out Friday's New Music, which is the playlist that we talk about the albums that we just mentioned, except obviously there'll be new ones this weekend because it's Friday again.
Friday.
You can buy one of our dumb shirts on the store where there's a link to
Shirt
the
dumbs.
site. And speaking of the site, is revamped it and it looks kind of pretty now.
Woo!
Yeah, you can find one of those. I'm wearing my America Fuck Yeah tank right now, and Kevin's naked, which is kind of weird.
It's not any different than most days.
Yeah, that's true. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CHP_Clifftron. You can find Kevin on Twitter and Instagram at CHP_Church. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. It'll help us get found. Our listenership is still going up. We just went over 10,000 plays total, which is insane.
Thank you to everyone.
Did not expect that. I know that most actual podcasts get that like per week, but we never expected.
Let us have our thing.
We never expected to get to 1,000, let alone 10,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's insane. Thank you to everyone and it's just been a little over a year, so that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, so thank you everyone. And as we said, I think we said last week, every week we've gone up in plays. We've passed each month of the year, so we're just gaining more and more. So please keep telling us, and maybe if we get enough people, we'll start giving away shit. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because, we got some hats and shirts and koozies and whatnot. So.
Never.
Who knows? So that's it for this week. Next week, we're going to be talking about Sam Hunt. So stay tuned for that. But that's it for this week. As I am Steve Hodge, as always, joined by Kevin Hodge, saying goodbye, good night, and good Charlotte. I love you. Porch Bottle Service.